All right, so this morning on the Breakfast Club, we will discuss how in today's digital age, social media has become a go-to source for advice. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's sheer ugly, right? Be it fitness, nutrition, or most importantly, our health. For example, we must have heard of some XYZ influencer on social media stating usage of sunscreen can cause cancer, or a certain pill that will help you with weight loss, or extreme juice fasting that can detoxify your body. Now, just because someone who has a huge following tells you something does not mean they're qualified to give you medical advice. We have seen too many influencers sharing wellness tips that sound good but have no real science backing it at all. It's even sort of spilled out to celebrities, even some notorious politicians not left behind.
So we thought we'd bring out some examples where this has happened in the past. In fact, in the very, very recent past. Just a few days ago, you had former cricketer and commentator Navjot Sidhu talking about his wife's battle with cancer and saying that it was actually a strict diet that had cured her of the stage 4 cancer that she had. And he said it wasn't just 40 days. A few days after that, he had to come out with a clarification. Actor Samantha Ruth, we're showing you her visuals. She'd recently recommended to her followers to try the hydrogen peroxide inhalation protocol to fight a viral fever. Again, she was also called out on social media. This isn't just an Indian phenomenon though. American media personality Kourtney Kardashian facing backlash in her case for launching what she said was an all-natural Ozempic alternative, except the moment it was out, people looked at it and they were like, this is just a money grab. All these celebrities facing flack on the internet, they had to clarify later, as we said a little earlier. They had to come out, and it's not just celebrities.
Yeah.
You've also had the Advertising Standards Council of India that's actually placed more responsibility. This is a green sign, this is a green flag, even on the shoulders, not just of celebrities as we said, but even of health influencers, stating that if you are someone who calls yourself a health influencer, you've taken on that responsibility, then you need to have the relevant qualifications to call yourself that on social media. So you need to, for example, have a medical degree or have certified courses, and details of that course must be superimposed as the opening remark on videos that you're going to make to put out, especially when you want to safeguard. So if you or me are watching a video, we should have that information available for us so that we know it's not a non-expert giving that advice.
So like a disclaimer of sorts, and that's now a norm. It's an advisory which has been put out. But we as followers, we also have some responsibility, right? Let's not shed that away completely. We have to keep our mind open to the fact that one size does not fit all. That approach can be really dangerous. For example, intermittent fasting works great for some people, but if you are a diabetic, please, it's a complete no-no. So all these things have to be looked at with a detailed eye, and that is why the only thing to trust always is your doctor. Your health should not be left to chance of a latest viral trend or likes or shares. It should be verified, double-checked by someone who knows you and your body the best. So we thought we'll bring someone on, two individuals who perhaps are on this mission to ensure that people do take their health more seriously, and online misinformation keeps just there. It stays online, does not penetrate our lives as well. Joining us now is Sudipta Sen Gupta. He's the founder and CEO of the Healthy Indian Project, and Dr. Lancet Pinto as well, consultant pulmonologist and epidemiologist at Hinduja Hospital. Thank you both for joining us this morning. Dr. Pinto, let me begin with you. There are so many issues around health that India faces, abuse of antibiotics and so much and so more. I can just keep going on. But when it comes to stuff that can be handled, when it comes to stuff which is misinformation online, do you have a way perhaps to tell us how to discriminate? Because when we look at this story, and if I were to talk to it about with my mothers and my aunts, they would say, "Dekho kitna acha WhatsApp post hai, kitni achhi advice di hai." So, and somewhere where our doctors lack sometimes, they're not able to simplify things because they're focused on medicine, not wellness, which is where the gap really is. So how do you sort it out? Suppose you had to explain this to my mother, for example, what would you tell her?
Good morning, Sonal and Toya, and thank you for inviting me to the show. I think misinformation often thrives in areas where fear is high, for example, cancer, or where there is a lot of stigma, for example, erectile dysfunction, or if you're talking about a disease like HIV/AIDS, or when treatments are very complex and doctors find it difficult for themselves to explain things to patients. So these are generally the situations in which medical misinformation thrives, because the patients get a sense of helplessness, they get a sense of not understanding what's happening, and therefore the alternative quick fixes seem very attractive. So, in terms of a cheat sheet, I think, I was just thinking about this, and, there are four simple things that you can ask, right? Number one, who, so the four kind of the mantra is who, why, how, and what, right? So, who is saying or who is making the claim? What are the credentials of the person making the claim? This is especially true for influencers who have a financial interest or a vested interest in selling something, right? So the alternative cures, which are very expensive, which say, we'll give you a quick fix. It's very important to check the credentials of the person. And very often when you look at the credentials on their website, or you look at the details, it will give you a lot of testimonials. They'll say the person has been working in the field for the past 10 years, but it will not really tell you whether the person is qualified to do it. So that's the who part of it. The second question you need to ask yourself is, why is the person saying what they are saying? Are there any incentives? Is it just clickbait? Are they trying to get followers? Are they trying to get a viral video online? What is the incentive for the person doing it? The third question is, how is it being disseminated, right? Unfortunately, studies have shown that more the science in a video, the less attractive it is to the audience, the less the number of clicks, the less the number of followers.
Not surprising, yeah.
And that again tells us that in some way it's a lacunae of experts, that we have not become as good communicators as we should be. And the fourth question you need to ask is what exactly is being said and what does one have to lose? So for example, if someone tells you use a particular hair oil and it's great for your hair, the stakes are not that high. So, but when someone's talking about cancer, you might have just one opportunity to get it right. And therefore your index of suspicion should be a lot higher.
Yeah.
Your threshold to accept something that sounds sensational, that's coming from a source that's not necessarily legitimate, you need to have a lot more skepticism when the stakes are higher. So I think this is the four broad the broad framework. Who is saying what is being said? Why is the person saying it? How is it being said? More sensational, less likely to be true, and what exactly is being said?
Who, why, how, and what? I just want to repeat that once again for our audiences. Okay, let's go over to Sudipta now to ask him a little bit about building the Healthy Indian Project. Because Sudipta, in many ways, the Healthy Indian Project is one answer to this entire problem. On Instagram, you're posting fact corrections constantly, a rumor that's being spread and what the correct approach is. You also on WhatsApp have a chatbot called Raksha, where people can sort of send any kind of rumor that they've heard, and you will tell them what the right thing is. On Facebook also, I believe Facebook is actually working with you guys to get the right information out when it comes to medical health advice. What's the story? Why did you build THIP? What did you think was the need? And how have you gone about creating an organization that claims to be unbiased? Because bias is a very, very big problem in this entire sector.
Okay. First of all, thank you for having me on the show. This is a topic that is very close to my heart. We started just before pre-COVID, when after working in the media industry for long, after handling content, I realized there's a certain amount of gullibility with which we produce and consume health content. By that I mean, so if I give you an example, if you need a financial advice, you will probably look at a financial expert, or you will want a financial expert to write a column for you or draft that advice for you. But when it comes to health advice, we probably will believe everybody and anybody. And also we believe that anybody can write a health content. I'm talking from the media side of it. And I had been guilty of the same. What happened in middle is I faced an unfortunate incident where I saw a very close friend go through misinformation, health misinformation, and had a fallout.